because I don't know. I mean, I have been doing Poshmark before I was technically really working on. Before I was, hold on a second. Before I was technically. Okay, so I was doing Poshmark before I was technically kind of working through this process on YouTube. So for me, my focal point was actually the immediate job. Like when I lost my job, the immediate job for me was to find something to do that I could earn while I was, because I was in bed, and I had gone through, I don't know, like just lots of things. And yeah, when I was lying in bed, I was able to do Poshmark. So Poshmark was easy enough for me to kind of put together, right? That was like the thing. I don't have makeup on. I don't have my eyeliner on. Sorry, I do look a little bit older without the eyeliner. Apologies. But I just want to, put this in perspective. Everybody talks about this polymath thing, but polymath is not polymath without. I don't think it's. For me, it was never a polymath discussion. Okay, I don't know why people think that polymath is like a thing. But for me, it was all about just being skilled and learning the skills from a very, very young age. I mean, I was making fashion design drawings when I was like all of 5. Just like I was doing my music. I was learning all these skills and techniques when I was growing up. It was not an overnight thing. I mean, I'm 46 years old. Just imagine how many years it took me to figure out how to make a piece of garment, or taking classes to learn skills. It was not an overnight thing. I mean, I'm putting all the projects and ideas together now because that is definitely something I've been working on for decades. It's not just like an overnight thing, decades for me. Okay. I've just been very determined. I'm a determined person who does not listen to people when they say you can't do it. I'm always like, you can do it. So I always do what I'm supposed to not do, right? That's that's my approach to things. Um, so this whole conversation on, like this, the Ask Studio, which is Ask AI, Ask Studio, which is connected to the YouTube, it's a YouTube channel. If you go into the back end, you can actually get Ask Studio, which is like the uh, AI system that actually talks through and walks you through stuff, just like ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude. So I actually sit down and speak to Ask Studio, right, on a regular basis when I get onto the channel. Hi, how are you? Welcome in. Thank you for popping over. If you don't know me, my channel has multiple things. I am not monetized. I just want to let you guys know. I have been on this platform for a few years now, but I had done it a completely different way. I was not following trends. I was not doing things that normal people would generally do. I was doing things on a completely different level. It was just not, for me, I was using it for my second, I don't teach in a classroom. This would be like my classroom format, but this is the time duration that I would usually be teaching in the United States. Okay, so I'm not young. I'm older. I am probably a little bit more teacher-like than anything else. And, YouTube has that new update where you have to now, next year, February, you have to reach at least 8,000 views. I think 100,000 on the shorts. And for me, I just don't, I'm not a pressure, I don't like pressure. I'm not the type of person to handle pressure very well. I in fact resist the concept of pressure because it just doesn't do any, it's not healthy. I don't think it's personally a healthy experience having to be placed under pressure to maybe get $100 if you get like a video that's successful. For me, my logic is earning money that I can generate quickly with $100, or to make $100 faster, like within a week, than to wait like 5 months or longer just to reach that $100. So I'm not looking at my YouTube channel as a potential, I mean, it would be nice if I could earn, but I'm not seeing it as an earning location. I'm seeing this more of a space where I can put thoughts together and use it as like my little portfolio layout, which is what I'm doing. So I'm not necessarily, you know, if you don't know my channel, you have to take a look at what I have here. And, you know, the Ask Studio keeps on saying, oh, people love to see the polymath. And I was like, well, what do they want to see the polymath for? I mean, polymath is nothing unless you're skilled in more than one skill. Like, polymath just basically means a person that has multiple skills and can put all the skills in lots of different ways for different purposes. Now, I did my master's, and when I did my master's, the same concept applied for my master's projects. I was always, because I'm thinking on a master's level, I'm not thinking on a level from high school to junior high. That stuff is not really discussed in high school, junior high, and the first year of college. We're talking, what I'm doing right now is advanced development on multiple skills. It's not, it's something that I taught myself. A lot of the things I was determined to teach myself lots of different things. I wasn't, I obviously had studied, obviously university, but when I was very young, I was basically very independent. When I lived in Japan, they taught you independence as a young person. I went to a kindergarten there. I went to, what did I do here? My goodness. A kindergarten there. And when you're in Japan, they teach you to be very, very focused at a very young age. I mean, I remember walking to school from my parents' house in Japan in snowy weather, summer weather, whatever, by myself at the age of 5. So I remember that when I was 5 years old, I was already self-motivated to do things. It was just how it is in Japan. So that's how I deal with things. I think of it as, I didn't grow up in the States. I mean, I did for a little bit. Every 4 years we'd move back, but I didn't necessarily grow up in the States. I'll just have my music in the background. Okay, so I'm just putting a little bit of music in the background. But I want people to be aware that when I do projects or when I develop skills in these courses that I've set up on my channel, which are free, I'm teaching people how to create their own workaround, their own process. Okay, I'm not just teaching, but my recommendation to learn skills is to start from a very young age, just like I did. I started very young. I started to learn how to do sketches and drawings for fashion ideas and knitting and all that stuff as a kid. Same thing for music. My mom was a music teacher. She's an opera singer. And I grew up learning that stuff. I mean, it should be normal to educate. Like, education from a young age is so important, because once you hit, like, my age, not to be able to do certain things is going to be complex unless you have those skills. It says add a question. What question? How... And I know that this section is basically, now I don't know if you've gone live, folks, but they've now created this section over here. Oh, the same thing. I don't know if it applies here. No, on the landscape it does not. But if you go on a live with the vertical, they've like really recreated TikTok. And I'm not like, I was doing TikTok. I had done the lives and I had done all the, people were doing like the games and all that stuff. And it just wasn't for me. I was too like past that. So now they're doing the same thing on TikTok, on Facebook. And I'm like, oh no. Right. Oh, what did I do here? Light on. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, I didn't know I could do that. That's good. Okay, so it actually extends the light. Let's try that out. I didn't try that before. So I just wanted to, you know, let people know that YouTube is now going to focus on people who do more viral content. And I don't personally think my content is viral. Like, I don't think that my stuff is meant to go viral, if you know what I mean. I don't feel as if I have the time to put into editing and promoting, and I don't have money backing me. This is everything I do myself, right? Like, I don't have a ton of money to put this together. I have to really work with what I have. And my setup has been like this for the past 10 years. This is not a new setup. This is a very old setup. Okay, so you can just imagine after 10 years, the amount of things that I've done within this space is just, it's not repetitive, but it's consistently building on structural skills that I had been building on for forever. I haven't lived in this place for 10, or maybe about a little bit, like maybe 10 or 11 years, 12 years, I don't know. I moved back to the States in 2014. And before 2014, I was in South Africa. So I was doing something completely different. I was in the music scene in South Africa. I was doing performances. I was in bands. I was asked to do like music compositions for like Big Brother, for instance, in South Africa, Big Brother Africa. And I think once you reach a certain age, the reality of what life has already been constructed through your life is different. Like, I didn't grow up focused and zooming in on social media as a career, because it was just starting off and I was already doing things like jobs and all those things and careers. So I'm not, and I am going to do a little bit of some creative art stuff. Oh, it's on my other iPad. It's on my thing. So I just want people to be aware that when you come onto my channel, it's not, I mean, entertainment is part of the process, but it's also understanding that the entertainment comes with a background of knowledge, if you know what I mean. Like, the stuff that I produce over here, this took me about maybe three lives, but in order to get to this, I needed to explain my music. Like, I needed to learn how to do like music theory, reading music, the beginning points of education in music, the fashion stuff that I have, like these things I've made. Okay, I made this. I needed to understand how to put these together. This is not fashion. But the jackets and stuff that I have made, I needed to learn how to construct. I actually did study at a fashion university for a year before I decided to do my master's, which was kind of weird. So I graduated, did my bachelor's in the States, moved to South Africa, did a little bit of like a 1-year fashion course, took business courses, of course, before that. And then after that, I actually worked on my master's. So I've had many, many years of different education. I didn't always study here in the States because studying in the States is very expensive. If you study overseas, it's a lot cheaper. It's a little bit harder, but it's a lot cheaper than to just to get degrees in the United States. It's much more expensive. The States is much, sorry, I'm just seeing that now. Hi, welcome, how are you? I'm glad everybody's popping over. I'm just having a little bit of a pep talk. I was gonna do a little bit about like the comic stuff that I do, but I'm also older, so I'm not always focused on just the comic stuff. That's art. I'm not really a commercial person, if you know what I mean. You know, I like fun things, but I'm not like commercialized. If I was commercialized, I would have looked different and I would have styled myself up differently. So this is like an honest, real environmental space. Um, I'm not trying to put on a front, let's put it that way, for something like the internet, because it's just not what I believe in. So I think being real is the most realistic approach to one's own personal understanding and one's own growth. I'm here to be a mentor more than anything else, right? So my channel is all about guiding people through the process. It's nothing to do with trying to be cool, because cool is like the in thing to do. All I know is that I don't think I'm going to get necessarily monetized on YouTube at this stage. I have about 120 watch hours, and then I don't know what I have for my shorts, but I just know that the only way to succeed on YouTube is to focus on the long form content, even the lives, for instance. But the long form content is where you generate the money. Okay, the shorts are like spurts, like the same program kind of applied on Facebook, but Facebook was very intense. They had projects you had to do weekly. Same thing for YouTube, for TikTok. They want you to complete projects so you can grow on those platforms. I don't know if I can see a complete growth project process on YouTube besides the back end, when you check the information on where you are in monetization level. But they don't give you like every week you need to do this. I mean, you can technically use Ask Studio that can guide you, which has helped. Make no mistake, Ask Studio has helped. There's no reason not to use Ask Studio. I think Ask Studio is very useful for guiding you through whatever it is you're trying to do on a meticulous format. And I know a lot of people probably ask it, how do you go viral, or all that stuff. I'm not asking how to go viral. I've tried the viral thing. I had one viral, two virals. I think I've already spoken about this. Two virals that I had done. One made me not even a ton of money, 40,000 views, 40 to 50,000 views, only made me $72. $72. I'm like, that is like, you can't keep, like, and that's a lot of pressure on a person. So just imagine how hard it is to maintain. And I'm not trying to distract people from getting monetized, but I think I'm here to really make people carefully think if this is like the real direction you want to go in, right? I think people try to fluffing it up and try to make people think it's the most amazing, phenomenal direction you could ever make in your life. And my approach was always slow and steady, because I find that slow and steady creates more methodical growth for your own personal benefits. And for me, I'm now doing Upwork, right? I'm now developing. I just set up my profile. You can go over to my links on my channel, and I set up my profile, and my profile basically shows how I set up the Upwork. And I just think on a realistic level, one may make more money doing a layout on YouTube, but promoting like business from different platforms. I mean, I don't see it as a moneymaker. I don't see YouTube for me as a moneymaker. So I just want to be clear that I want people to know that I'm not here to try to over exceed and consistently go bananas over trying to be like viral. Okay, people really love doing it, but now I'm personally injured, so I don't want to give myself more stress than I need to, and I'm trying to get back into I'm doing my exercise now. So regular exercise is helping. I have to ice my leg because the icing of the leg really needs to be addressed, because it is a piece of metal, and without, like for instance today, I did not ice my leg. I must ice my leg. in the next hour or so. So I'm not going to be on here for too long, but I think addressing the subject of how monetization works, and I know how monetization works on TikTok and YouTube. I was already monetized on Facebook. I mean, with 1,000 subscribers on Facebook up to, I mean, I reached about 5,000, 4,000, 5,000. So I was monetized, and I know there are a lot of people that did the monetization on Facebook and went viral first. I had, in my case, I went viral, semi-viral, 10,000 views on an Instagram post, which is like really nothing, right? But that led me into the Facebook monetization. So I got monetized on Facebook, but I realized that the anxiety, it was too stressful for me. I was like, I don't know if I can do this much longer. So I stopped. My focus is trying to like stabilize the environment that I'm in, but I'm not trying to go bananas on here, if that makes any sense. I think going bananas on one platform it's just I think it's a trap. I think if you only focus on one thing in your life, just like I say to people, have multiple skills, it requires you to be offline. It requires you to focus on sitting down with a book and reading. It requires you to sit behind the scene and learn a piece of music. It requires that skill. And unfortunately, I find that on social media, there is so much focus on zooming in and sitting in front of the screen that you do not have enough time to, or one does not have enough time to really focus in on skills that matter. And I think that's what we're losing right now, is we're losing that potential to become more than one skilled person, like multimedia, because you're only focused on being viral and one is focused on being viral and only focused on the trendiest things, because the trendiest things are the ones that go viral, right? But in the end, you lose yourself. So, I mean, it's a double whammy. I would say what I wanted to say, but I don't want to say that on here because I don't know how that determines like disqualification on the live. So I'm not going to say what I wanted to say. But I think people need to be very clear, if you are doing social media, what direction it is you're taking. For me, I'm using it as an educational value, like a value study. Like, I'm filming this stuff because I'm trying to, obviously consistency matters for me because I'm the consistent type of person. I don't need to be reminded 10,000 times. I'll just get up and do it because that's just the type of person I am. I'm self-motivated. Self-motivation is the key to success on any type of thing, because if you have self-motivation, you can sit down without social media and work on something by yourself without anybody telling you how to do it. Okay, that's what you learn from university, is that you learn how to be. The master's is a good example. When you're doing your master's, this is a good example for the master's. When you're doing your master's, you might have a few classes and courses that you're taking with a group, but most of the research that you do when you do a master's or a PhD is on your own. You're literally by yourself, working on the goal to put that project together, or that vision, or the discussion, or the paper together. You're not with a group of people like you would have in a normal high school or junior high or college. Like college is when you go back to your dorm, you probably do a little bit of the work on your own, but you're in a group. When you go back to a classroom, you're in a group and you're socializing and you're interacting with that conversation and the professor. When you're in your master's state, okay, when you're doing your master's, it's not always the case. You're most of the time, like what I'm doing right now, this is what you do with your master's. Your master's is basically working on your own by yourself independently. And once you have the received paperwork and research, then you do a presentation in front of like a whole bunch of like people to prove that it's your paperwork, right? So that's like a whole thing. But it's not, the master's is not it's not a group project. It's an independent kind of skill that you kind of acquire over time. Okay, so that's where my mind is. That's why and I don't have any kids. I have a fur baby, of course. But I chose not to have kids at a young age because I think I said this on another live, is that I wasn't prepared to have multiple relationships and have multiple kids with multiple relationships. That would have been a total disaster. So I said, ex-nay on the kids, I'm going to study and focus on my education. So my focus was the education. It was not the daily life. You know, you get out of high school or college and most people would go off and get like a husband or a wife and then they get married. That was not my goal. My goal was, it would have been nice, but I was lucky to have relationships where the guys did not have any kids. So I didn't have to worry about that side of things, right? So for me, it was really just a focus, like I needed to focus on myself. So I focused more on those skills because I think being successful is not necessarily about being a viral sensation, but being successful has another purpose in the world of change and shift in society. So, I mean, I feel like I think social media honestly takes away from the realities of honing in on skills. I think for me that's the biggest takeaway, is that the moment I stepped away from doing too much excessive stuff on social, because I was doing the YouTube and I was doing the Facebook and I was doing the TikToks and I was doing like everything at once, and I was like, whoa, this is like a lot of stuff going on, and I was still in one space. I wasn't like moving much. It was just in this space, but I did lots of different things within this space on different platforms. It just got exhausting. And I realized, did I really get skills there, or was it just the same endless process that all the platforms require you to do just to keep going? I mean, did I earn much more money? No. I probably earned more money I had the jobs that I had before. I definitely earned more money having my other jobs, for sure. There is no I'm not gonna, there's like really, not to distract people's reality, but there's more money. I mean, unless you're like a multi-brilliant video editor who has a team and they already have money backing, I think YouTube is very difficult. I don't think it's a solving an answer to everybody's conclusion. So, I don't know. I think this whole change of where their standards are for monetization, they pushed it up to 8,000 hours of views. Like I said, I only have 120 views. 120 views, that's nothing. That's nothing. So for me, consistency is more important, and the value of having all of this stuff as my own personal channel, for me, feels a little bit more realistic than to be pushed into over excessive virality, because I really don't see this as a viral. I mean, there are people that, I'm not like, I'm older. I'm not as cute as I used to be. I don't have the body that I used to have. I don't have my dyed hair. I'm not dressing up. I'm just wearing all black. So I'm not like showing anything that's going to be like outstanding and outlandish and over excessive. I'm just an ordinary person doing what I'm doing because this is stuff that I've been working on for years, and who had done her master's. PhD would be cool, but how much more time do I need in a university to get a honestly, do you really need like another level to a degree, or can you just follow through with this? Like, this is the follow-on projects of what I'd already completed for my master's. So that's what I see this as. This is like my conclusion, like trying to spread the news of global global discussions, because I think more people need to understand it's than to just focus on one goal, which would be just going viral. Like I don't know. Is there like really a point? I mean, it's great if you reach that goal. I've already tried it, and I was dissatisfied because I was like, oh, so to make $72 on a video. This was on Flip. Okay, so I made $72 on a 40,000 view video. I was sort of disappointed. I was like, this is all you get? And then I had another couple of hundred ones, a couple of other ones that I made some money on, but it was really like, I was disappointed. I was actually disappointed with the outcome, because that means you need to constantly be viral to make that $72 or $100 per video. And for me, like, the logic it's just not there. I don't know. I was just like, oh, so this is how it works. And I know, and it phases out. Once you have one viral sensational hit, it fizzles out. People will know you for one thing, and that's it, and then it dies. Then it just disappears, right? Then you're forgotten into the abyss of nowhere. So I just think that one needs to have more values than just focusing on that sensational moment of everybody getting to know a person. Oh, she's like known for this. I'm sort of glad that the video that went viral for me was not crazy. It was literally just something I was promoting, like a product. I was promoting a product. So that was an interesting, yeah, I don't know. And I had small ones on TikTok, no big deal, nothing too serious. But I think I'm just over it. I'm over trying to analyze how growth works on the channels. I know that if you're absolutely gorgeous and you're super cute and you dress really well or you have money, you're automatically going to have that virality, because sometimes it's not like you're acting it out. It's sort of like the person is who they are. Sometimes they're setting it up and making themselves look a certain way, because that's like what you do, right? It's staging a show. I mean, I think I'm over that phase. I used to do photography I took photographs of models, right? So I did model photography. I actually took photographs of people doing modeling. So when they had put on the outfits and I took the photographs, you had to look a certain way and you had to position yourself a certain way. And you needed to dress a certain way for that image to prepare to look a particular way for it to be marketable. So the same thing applies for social media, is that I just think people don't realize the amount of work that goes into behind the scenes to get that looking a certain way, right? Just like when I was doing photographs for people or taking photographs or even modeling at one point. I mean, I had done modeling for photographers, so I was on the other side too, doing the modeling, and the photographers say position this way and stand this particular way and dress this particular way and hold this person or hold this up. So you were directed. I was directed, and the other way around. I would do photography for other people, and I would have to tell people, you need to angle yourself this way. Your head needs to be tilted a certain way. This is what I want you to look like, because this is what we're going to go for that particular look. So I've been on both sides, and I understand that social media is basically the same way. Now we have tripods, like stands. Like I'm using stands right now. Like I'm not just swiveling. I'm not walking around with my phone or my iPad and doing a video, because that would just be counterintuitive. It wouldn't do anything for this particular discussive moment. I mean, I'm not outside putting the phone on the ground and then doing some dance in the sun wearing a particular outfit, because that's just not who I am. I might have been when I was younger, but not anymore. I think I'm over that stage. So I'm past trying to stage it. I'm like, okay, let's get real. I've been there already, and everybody needs to know that there is a staged element to social media. It's not, you have to set it up. You need to present it a certain way to really go viral. And I just don't know if I have the energy anymore. I think I'm just tired. I think I'm tired and worn out from social media antics. That I'm just kind of like, yeah. Let me just get up for 2 seconds. And I need to move around. I can't just sit in one spot, which is like so frustrating, right? Maybe an hour is more than I can. An hour is okay, but then I have to get up and go. So I just want people to be aware that I think the most important thing that I have experienced growing as an individual, not just in different countries, but as somebody who's worked in the office or has been in even entertainment, like music, like live performances and entertaining people at like restaurants and stuff. Like there is an element of practice that goes into that process. It's not like you know, people always see people going live. Some people are really, really good at just going live and playing a piece of music and doing super well because they've been doing, that's like what they do normally. For me, I'm more like I need to learn the piece, or I need to like compose like this. This took me a while to put together. But none of this would have happened if I had not set myself down, put the books in front of me, learned the basics at a young age. Like starting young is important. I think the younger generation, I don't know how old everybody is here, but I think people who are younger have the greatest advantage right now to keep focused on learning and honing a skill, because the younger you are, the easier it is for you to learn something. As you get older, it gets a little bit more complicated to learn, because it's just a different muscle, and then it gets harder. It just gets harder. So if somebody's in the process of trying to learn the music now, learn it, but know that it's not going to be a masterful, like I would say, if you're going to do music, start at a young age. Like you can always learn music. I mean, it's not like a problem, but I do think starting at a young age gives you that bigger advantage, right? So that's just, I think that's just my personal take on this whole venture on social media. Is I've seen it, I've experienced it. I was doing like productions and projects and stuff before social media was a thing. Like I said, I'd done photography like this. Let me see if I can pull this out. The images may be backwards, but let me see if I can. The images may be backwards, but I can show you the photographs I had taken. So when I mean like I positioned the people and I made the angles look a certain way and I placed people in a particular format, I was blogs. Okay, and then I built my own site. But like these kind of images, like I focused on like where was I going to take these photographs? These are pieces that I made. I made these garments, right? I made these pieces. So it all boils down to really like understanding more than just like I built the sites. But all of this happened because I didn't spend my time trying to focus on going viral. I spent my time building a business. Okay, that was, for me, I thought that building a business was far greater than doing a whole viral moment that only lasts a split second. It does. It only lasts a split moment, and then you need to try it again to get the same virality. And if you don't, like for YouTube, for instance, YouTube wants you to go viral. I'm disagreeing with that concept because virality doesn't teach you skill. I mean, it might for some people. I think professionals who have a team may be able to do it and get away with kind of making it happen really fast. But I just, for me in particular, I'm not sure if this is exactly where I'm going. So I feel like my channel, I think, will just be here for the purpose of educational purposes and to help people learn basics. But I don't think I'm going to expect myself to try that virality again. I think I'm done. I think I've done it enough, and I think I've used social media enough to know that I was dissatisfied. I was not happy with the outcome because it didn't last. It wasn't a lasting feeling. And I know that if you go viral on for instance, a long form, and it's green, evergreen, it might be okay, which is why I do some of these videos, because evergreen for me is the lasting outcome. That stuff holds, okay? I think that is valuable assetry. It's like valuable assets, right? It's like having a briefcase and having a lot of pieces of paper, and then all the work you've done and put into this briefcase or the piece of paper, and you have it. This is your certification. This is like your documentation, right? So, you know, I don't know if what is this, music production? And then other photographs. So I was, you know, oh gosh. Oh yeah, this goes into. Okay. So yes, I've taken photographs. I mean, that's what I mean, I focused on developing other skills like color theory. I mean, this all plays a role when you're doing even a website, for instance, you know, so that does matter. Now, when I broke my leg, this is what I was doing. I was focused on building my own site. And then before this site, my Wix site, I was building, I had my WordPress site that I brought back from South Africa, and all those older projects I had, thank goodness, managed to put together on my WordPress. So yeah, I mean, I think it's skill development. I don't think it has anything to do with creativity at this stage. I think it's to do with really learning skills well, like any skill. Like, be proactive in understanding how technology works. You don't always need a website. Now we have tablets and iPhones, right? Which is like technically how people work, because I remember doing this. I think I did it. I think I did a little bit of this on my iPad. I'm not sure. Right? But that's what's going on here, is that I don't think I'm here to really try to make people absolutely love me because of the coolness or the style or whatever, because I don't think that's the case. I think maybe when I was younger, because I was more naive, like, I allowed people to step all over me and tell me what to do and tell me how things should be and how to dress and how to look and how to prepare myself to going out and, you know, all that stuff. But now I'm like, okay, I've done that already. We are in a different phase of our lives, and that's basically what's happening right now, is that I'm in a different phase. I don't have my eyeliner on. I just came back from the gym. I did my little workouts. Yesterday I went for my walk, and I'm not filming myself for that. I mean, I don't think you need to show people that you're exercising. I think that goes, once again, that whole thing of behind the scene becomes more valuable and critical, because that actually gives you the purpose for the growth. Like, you can't always put it on screen and film it. I think that's, personally, I think that that's vanity, and I don't think that that's necessarily how it works. You have to be, I think you have to be willing to know your own personal value, right? So I think that's my talk today. I was going to do a little bit of like the comic, but I do need to ice my leg. I came from the gym. My leg is a little like not so good, and I need to lie down and put it up so that it's not restricted or gets like sore, because my ankle gets like a little swollen. So I feel good knowing that I'm now back exercising, going to the gym. I feel more relieved to know that I've left TikTok and Facebook behind, because I was so focused on that I think part of the reason why I also did gain a little bit is because I was so focused on being on screen all the time for all the platforms that I finally had to realize this is not healthy for me. It's not healthy, at least for me, because I had gotten a permanent injury, I had an operation and everything. So my system works differently now. It's not the same as it used to be. I think if people haven't gone through an emergency operation, for instance, they probably would never know what the outcome would be unless you've technically gone through something like that. Now, I haven't given birth, for instance, but I certainly know the experience of what happens through that process. So the same thing, when you have a kid, it also restricts you from doing things that you used to do. Like my sister's going through that right now. She just had a kid. Very cute kid. But it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and the time is of the essence. So she's working and taking care of a kid. And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, do you want... Yeah, it's complicated. She's in South Africa, Cape Town, to be exact. Life is a little bit harder. It's still hard. Life anywhere is hard, right? So you have to be very sure of whatever direction you're trying to take. I just know I like to build on things. I like to have technical skills. Just like Upwork, a new skill that I'm developing. I'm learning how Upwork works. So I'm applying for these jobs with the connects. And I'm going in full on testing it out to see how another app works, because that's the type of I want to test things out, because that's just who I am. I'm not just waiting for somebody to tell, like, hold my hand and carry me to whatever direction I'm supposed to be taken. Like I said, virality for me it was great. Well, it lasted for a few seconds, but then when it disappeared, I was like, oh, well, yeah, like you need to keep up at that level. I just don't think that is realistic, especially if you're trying to stay healthy. Like, the realistic approach to health comes with taking care of yourself physically. And when you're stressed out and emotional on social media, it actually responds and reacts to your body in a negative way, okay? And I don't know if you've noticed, but it's very quiet on my channel for a reason. I've put blockers in. So when people try to misbehave on some of the videos, I've had people say some really nasty things. And I finally said, no, I'm not going to tolerate that anymore. And I know everybody says, oh, you must have, virality comes with like negativity. And I'm like, it doesn't have to be negative, because the negativity is what actually stresses one's body out, and that makes you not so healthy physically. Emotionally, it also drains you. So I like this space for the fact that I have, like, there's control and nobody's fighting and arguing and there's no stress. And for me, I want people to feel comfortable, right? There has to be at least one place on the internet that doesn't have volatile, like, comments and responses and reactions, because you go to I don't know if every video is like that, but a lot of the times when people always go viral, they're always saying, oh, I can't believe this person said this about me, and then they post a comment that somebody said that's negative. I'm like, nah, you don't, there are ways around that. And if that is what virality is, and people want to be rude and obnoxious and belligerent, for those who are just trying to make a video, then it's not fair. Like, I always think about how it feels to be the other side, right? I think people are just not, I think it's just important to understand that there are always consequences, and I know my consequence will be not going viral, because I have now specifically put blockers in, so there is no negativity, okay? So I can control the environment, because I've had my share of people saying negative things, and I'm just done with it. I'm done with it. So virality isn't necessarily You know, I mean, if you have, like I said, if you have a team and you have a whole bunch of people and they're helping you through that process, great stuff, good for them. But if you don't, like you're working on yourself like I am, you want to take precautionary measures so those kind of things do not happen. And I know that there are consequences for people that say negative things on channels too. YouTube actually does have consequential factors when it does happen. And by reporting people for negative comments, which we can do on here, I don't think it was as good on Facebook. Well, you can on Facebook. There is a way to do it. I've done it before. I've had some very nasty things said to me. And TikTok, not as much. So you try to stick with people who are not negative. So I mean, I think the payoff is virality requires a certain, an extra ego, which I am just not prepared to go through, you know. So this is just like, my channel is just a very casual, relaxing environment. If you want to come over and chill, great, no problem. But if you're, you know, the conflicting issues are not necessarily where I fit in on social media. I like peace. I like my peace of mind. I already have issues in my life. I don't need any more. And yeah, that's how I feel about this. Sorry, I was going to do a little bit about the comic, but I think today was just a good day to reflect on this question on virality. Like, what is it that people want out of their own personal environmental spaces? Are you wanting to go viral? Are you prepared if the virality happens that if you don't put the blockers on, you're going to have a lot of negativity? Are you prepared for that? Are you prepared for the after effects? I wasn't satisfied. I was not happy. It just stressed me out and it made me put on weight. So I don't like the stress. I'm a stress-free person. At this stage, at 46, turning 47 soon, I prefer my peace of mind, my peace of mental space, my peace in my health, just a peace. Peace is my best friend because that is my best time to work on my skills. Skills require a certain amount of patience and focus and determination and self-reliance, because you can't depend on somebody to create these skills for you. You need to have the patience to really help yourself. And if people are too focused on social media, the self-reliance goes out of the window, and then the focus just becomes only this. And I just don't think it's healthy. I don't think it's healthy. I think if you're wanting to be open to learning skills and young enough to really understand more than one skill, great. But you have to start young if you're wanting to be diverse in skills. It's not just an overnight thing. I didn't just wake up one day and say, I want to be somebody that makes clothing, somebody that wants to do music, and somebody that wants to do art, and somebody who likes technology. Now, it happened in progression. So each thing happened over time. Just like this new add-on that I'm doing with Upwork, that's a new skill I'm implementing. I'm adding on to all the other things that I've already done. So each skill comes with the next level. It's not a game. Like, life is not a game, but it does come with levels. Okay. So that's what I think that's what my focal point is today. Thank you for joining me, guys. I was just having a discussion because I have to, I'm personally trying to put the shift in YouTube into a realistic perspective. Like, how hard are you prepared to work to make it happen, to only get $72 for 42,000 views? I don't know. I mean, unless you have the looks, unless you have the money, unless you have the environment, and it's something that's already preset for your own space, I personally think it's going to be, I mean, as I said, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but aesthetics apparently is like the go-to on social media. So I think weighing the option is like the approach, right? Yeah. Okay, folks, thanks for the moment. I need to ice my leg. It's actually quite sore. I just went to the gym. I was doing the elliptical, and my leg is like, right now. Okay. Thank you again. Have a good one, folks. Thank you.